Big Ant have made cricket games for 12 years now, 7 different games. Let's rank them from worst to best. At last place we have Bradman Cricket 17. This game was a big disappointment. It came out after one of the best cricket games and it wasn't an improvement in any way. We got a new bowling system. I say new, but it's just the same mechanic with a slightly tweaked minigame. Camera angles were really bad. Batting animations are plain silly. It's not just 1 or 2 shots either. Almost every shot looks like that, and to top it off, ground shots have almost zero power. So you're forced to play lofted shots all the time. Even then, some shots are plain useless, so again you're forced to play the few that work all the time. Bowling is a little bit more fun, but it's still not fun enough to make you bowl through an entire test match. Next we have Cricket 22. This game really feels dated by now, even though it's just 5 years old. Big Ant once again went back to a simulation focus, which I personally loved, but 24 and 26 are just improvements on 22 in every which way. So if you go back to Cricket 22 now, it feels just plain bad. Graphics wise, it doesn't look great at all. Gameplay is Cricket 26 but with fewer styles, actions and just worse in general. But a unique thing about Cricket 22 is it has the best career mode ever in a cricket game. In the beginning of the career you get a few cutscenes, it looks promising, but after that it is pretty much the same. So while it's not a huge improvement, it's still the best career mode. Bowling was improved, so it's not just bat and simulate anymore. AI batsmen got out in different ways. They weren't impossible to get out, but still bowls and LBWs were kind of rare, which was improved on in later games. Batting was slower, and some ways it is really good. AI bowlers bowled everywhere, so you could play all around the ground without having to move to the offside, but some shots were criminally underrated. Good luck scoring sixes down the ground on higher difficulties. All in all, Cricket 22 is a solid foundation on which Cricket 24 and 26 were built on, but going back now is really not worth it because it doesn't offer anything that unique. Next we have Cricket 24. Again an improvement over the previous title Cricket 22. These two games feel so similar gameplay wise. Graphics 22 is clearly better. Lighting is so much better, it's like a game from a different console generation. Bowling was improved, especially fast bowling. If you use sliders, bowling is insanely fun. It almost got as good as Ashes 17. Clean bowls were still missing, but we had more caught behinds and LBWs. This game was very balanced. Batting and bowling were equally good. Playing tests and T20s was equally fun, but this is where AI became a real headache. Fielders were beyond dumb. Batsmen wouldn't be aggressive even if the required run rate was 15. Bowlers kept bowling the same ball over and over again. This is still a problem, but in 24 it was worse. Career mode was the same. This was like a Cricket 22.5. That's the reason Big Ant were grilled for the first time. It felt like they released the same game with better graphics and more licenses, a slightly better gameplay system, and it was kind of true. Next we have Cricket 19. I absolutely loved my time with this game recently. It is even more fun than I remember. I think this is the only Big Ant cricket game that feels like other sports titles. It feels big budget, a game made for even casual players. Cricket 19 is like FIFA games, while other Big Ant cricket titles are like PES games. This is the perfect game for anyone new to the series or the sport. Batting is out of this world fun. It's fast paced, big shots feel powerful instead of making no sense. Animations are crisp. When you pull these shots off, it is so satisfying. But this is also the easiest game in the series. If you play it for a while, it turns into Cricket 2007. You can smack sixes every other ball. Bowling on the other hand was boring almost. There was almost no competition between bat and ball. Perfect game to recreate IPL 2026. There are lots of plays and misses, boundaries, but wickets fall mostly in the same way. Catches in the outfield, that is it. Bowls are rare, and even then, it's just balls going back to the stumps off of outside edges. One of the most fun batting systems is the reason the game is so far up on this list. Up next, Bradman Cricket 14. DBC 14 was an amazing start to the series, like seriously extraordinary start. Batting before this was so restrictive. DBC 14 finally gave players the freedom to score to almost all parts of the ground. Bowling though still left a lot to be desired. It would take another 2 games before they truly fix bowling. I think Don Bradman Cricket 14 is finally starting to show its age. Batting animations aren't the most fluid or the most realistic, and there aren't all that many animations either. But the thing is, the game is unbelievably polished for a first title. AI was smarter in the first few games somehow. As soon as they added more animations, batting styles and bowling actions, glitches came with them. DBC 14 was in second place the last time I made a ranking like this. This time it has dropped 1 place, but the game will always be awesome because it brought so many gameplay elements to cricket games that we had never seen before. Cricket 26 is the product of 3 games. 22, 24 and 26 are very similar with minor improvements. So yeah, it's not anything different, but it is better than the previous 2 for sure. The reason it's so high up is I recently played these older games, and when I came back to 26, there was a level of polish to gameplay. I know AI is dumb beyond belief, fielding still needs improvement, but batting and bowling mechanics really are top tier. For the first time, every shot is useful. Big Ant have patched in sliders to customize power behind each shot individually, which adds to that even more. You can play all over the ground, and if you get ideal input, you will be rewarded. AI definitely could have been better. AI bowlers still bowl outside the off stump the majority of the time. Fielders are just horrible. Even when they take catches, it doesn't look convincing. Fielders will look in the opposite direction and somehow still catch. With better AI, this game could have been amazing because batting and bowling mechanics are really good on their own. We got a manager career mode, which is really just career mode with a team. There are some superficial elements like injury and form, but it's not a full-fledged game mode by any means. Cricket 26 is easily the best looking cricket title. It is stunning even compared to recent titles. Gameplay is the reason this game is so high up in this ranking though. Ashes Cricket 2017 is still my favorite Big Ant cricket game. I love test matches, and there's no game that captures the feel of test cricket more than Ashes 17. This is the only game where bowling is more fun than batting. Wickets come in classic fashion, outside edges to slips, clean bowls with the stump flying all over, realistic looking LBWs. When you bowl good balls, you get rewarded. That is so simple, but it took so long to put it into a game. And after this, once again that went away. Batting was no slouch either. You had all the basic shots in the sport. No fancy scoops or ramps, but at the time it was a big improvement. The sound of ball hitting bat was perfection. Pulls, drives, flicks looked flawless. The game didn't have a lot of batting styles. That is one drawback. It does get repetitive because of that. But whatever the game does have, it is pretty good. Steve Smith's stance here is perfect. It's been tweaked since and now it is worse, but I love batting with the stance here. This game didn't have any game modes other than career, which was disappointing, but that is the case with pretty much every Big Ant game. Visually, it's still a beautiful game. Couple that with incredible gameplay, both batting and bowling, and you can see why this game is at the top of the list. Well, that was my ranking. Give me yours in the comment section. Click the video on screen to see a chase in Ashes Cricket 2017. Thanks for watching and have a great day wherever you are.